So does it surprise me that the government would create a pamphlet letting Muslims know who is best aligned with their values and who you should essentially vote for? Does this surprise me? No, not at all. Because think about who works in the government. Who works there? It's typically people on the left. So do you think that people who work for the government are not going to release a pamphlet that is going to ensure that they have work for the future? This is the problem with the government in general, is that these people have a conflict of interest immediately whenever they put stuff out into the public. They're not going to promote small government ever. They're not going to promote anything like that in the educational system because they're run by the government. They will always try to find a way to promote more. They're not going to release a pamphlet for Christians in which party is the worst for Christians, which would be the Liberal and the NDP party, because they want to stay in power. They want to keep their jobs. They don't want people on the right getting elected who want to cut government spending. Look how they're losing their mind with Doug Ford in Ontario. Oh my God, all these teachers are losing their jobs. Oh, he's cutting services. People are going to die in the streets and they're going to melt or something. They're like, no, you'll be fine. See, this is the problem with the government education system as well. They just teach people, hey, cut services. Now you don't have things anymore. If you cut this, then they're just saying, fuck you. They just want you to suffer. Instead of telling them that there's often alternatives to the government providing it for you. You don't need them to do everything for you in your life. The free market can provide these things often for you at a cheaper price and more efficiently as well. The government is just inefficient. But are people ever going to learn that? No, they're not. Are people ever going to realize that governments will inherently be against the people, will inherently want to grow and keep expanding? It's not that the government itself, it's like this one brain entity. It's all the people that make it up individually, and all of their individual wants usually will have a negative effect on the rest of the population because their livelihood is directly tied into the state and the growth of the state, taking over different aspects of your life here and there and all this crap. So there is never any incentive for the government, for people in the government, to try to decrease it. So this is why they're going to make guides for Muslims to vote for the NDP and the Liberals, because they're the ones that are going to grow the government the most. They're the ones that are going to increase bureaucracy to make sure that they're alive, that their jobs are secure. They're the ones that are going to give, unions more and more power over your life. So it doesn't surprise me at all that this guide was released. Expect more of it because, like I said, there's no incentive for them to regulate themselves on this. Nobody's going to be charged, or this isn't going to be brought up as an issue. Like, is the media even talking about this? I think it's mostly the alternative media that is talking about this. But this is a big issue. That this is being released before the election. Like, how many votes could that sway? And obviously, it's specifically for the fucking new Syrian Muslims and all these people that just became citizens in Canada, because it was very simple. There wasn't a lot of meat to it. It's like, well, why are these parties worse? Why does Maxim get an F on literally everything? Okay, Nationalist Party, everything F. right? And then I think Shear had an N or something in there, but the rest was all F2. But those are hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people that they're swaying to vote a certain way. So, you know, it's disgusting, right? And this is what the left does. They complain and complain about, you know, like Trump in America with Russia helping him win the election. But it's like, this is all you guys do. You import voters. You do this shady shit. And then the media isn't going to call you on it because you're paying the media. They have a vested interest, once again, because they're working for the government, getting paid by the government to cover for them, to not bring up this type of stuff. You know, get your heads out of the fucking sand, people, and understand that you can do things yourself, that you don't need the state to do literally everything for you. You're more capable than you think. You're a lot more capable than you think. And the society, the government, the people in power don't want you to know that. Because once you do, then their power on you will be diminished. Because they want you to feel like you need them to save you. You need them in situations of hard times, that you can't actually rely on society, the people around you. This is why divide and conquer is so powerful, because generally people agree with each other on a lot of basic stuff, you know, regardless of race and religion and all this stuff. We do agree on a lot of stuff, but the more we're divided, the less likely we're ever going to work together to, you know, usurp these people that are in power. Or to understand at the very least that, hey, we don't need the government to protect us against these evil white racist people or these other evil people, etc. We can help. We can work with these people in times of need, in times of economic strife, to help get ourselves out of a bad situation. You know, throughout society, throughout history, a lot people, you know, if they have a bad times, you know, they'll just go in and invade the neighbor, take their shit or something like that, right? But what works better is if people actually, in times of need, in times of strife, you know, a big catastrophe happens, is if people work together. Not if they go and steal from each other. You know, I watch these shows sometimes, you know, like survival shows, and you see that the group is really powerful. And the more that people start leaving the group and are like, I don't want to do this anymore, I want to go home, people usually try to convince them to stay because they realize the importance of having that one extra body that's going to make everything easier. So working together will make all of our lives better, but we're kept divided. And that is in their interest. And, you know, like I said before, it doesn't surprise me that the government is going to release this type of thing. Expect more of it in the future, because their livelihood, their income is tied with it. You know, they don't want people becoming independent, right? Because then they're going to have to figure out something else. They have a pretty comfortable position, a comfortable job working with the government. You know, anybody knows how difficult it is to get into government to begin with. You got to like know somebody nowadays, or you got to be like a woman or some minority to get in there anyways. Then you can have a very secure life, secure job with benefits and all the goodies that all these other plebs don't get. But we all know that the free market itself would make it so all of our lives are better. So all of us have better paying jobs instead of just these select few people who want to screw over the rest of us to ensure their own success. But that's all I pretty much had to say. If you like my content, subscribe and have a good day. See ya.